I just took Sean down to the county morgue, and I'm certainly struggling with a family member that I've had to take down there.
Anguish, shock, and heartache in the city of Hilliard as Police Chief Robert Fisher and his officers mourn the loss of Sean Johnson, a decorated 16-year veteran of the force.
Less than 1 hour earlier, cruisers, police, and firefighters formed an honor guard to escort Johnson's body to the county morgue. Johnson died today in a motorcycle crash during a training exercise.
For the first time in the history of Hilliard, an officer dies in the line of duty. But for Central Ohio, it's yet another tragic reminder that the men and women in blue put their lives on the line every day.
Now, NBC4 at 11.
A training exercise turns to tragedy. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us at 11. I'm Colleen Marshall.
And I'm Mike Jackson. Tonight, Officer Johnson being remembered as a loving father, a dedicated member of Hilliard's police force. The accident occurred just before 2 o'clock this afternoon on Route 161 at I-270 in Blendon Township. That interchange closed for hours while police investigated.
Tonight, NBC4 has team coverage. Olivia Fecto shows us the officers' hometown tributes for Officer Johnson. But first, Courtney Yoon is live with more details on the crash and Officer Johnson's background. Courtney?
Colleen, the Franklin County Sheriff's Office is still investigating exactly what happened on the State Route 161 overpass earlier this afternoon. Right now, there just aren't many details on what caused that fatal accident that killed Officer Sean Johnson.
Today's a very difficult day for our HPD family and our community.
Hilliard Chief Robert Fisher is distraught with emotion, addressing reporters on the loss of a 16-year veteran.
I just took Sean down to the county morgue, and I'm certainly struggling with a family member that I've had to take down there.
It happened around 1:45 this afternoon at I-270 and State Route 161. 4 officers were working together.
They were actually riding their motorcycles as part of the training exercise when the crash occurred.
The chief says Officer Johnson was an experienced rider who just recently became a member of the department's new traffic safety unit.
We certainly need the support of our community. Obviously, this is a situation that no police chief ever wants to deal with and to have to happen to their family.
Officer Johnson is survived by his 2 children, ages 11 and 14, along with several other family members. And NBC4's Olivia Fecto has been in the Hilliard community today remembering Officer Johnson, and she joins us live from First Responders Park with more. Olivia?
Well, Courtney, Officer Johnson's cruiser is parked here for the night at First Responders Park, covered and decorated with flowers. Earlier this evening, his fellow officers from Hilliard and Columbus lowered the flags here in the park to half-staff in his honor. The community of Hilliard is devastated by this loss. The sun set on a sad day in Hilliard.
We had no idea.
Chad Harrison brought his kids to First Responders Park, where they learned the news.
Yeah, we came down here to get ice cream and wanted to show the kids, the monument again, and it just heard about this.
This is a community that until now has never had an officer die in the line of duty.
And it's very sad. They give their life to the community and they love their jobs, and it's a very difficult job.
Across from the park, Odie's Bar and Grill, a favorite hangout for Hilliard police officers.
You see them around here quite a bit. Hilliard's pretty big, a tight-knit community, so I'm very heartbroken.
When April Comstock heard an officer had died, she says she waited anxiously to find out who it was.
It don't happen here. Everybody says that. When something bad like this happens, it's never going to happen in our town or our city, but it does.
For those who knew Officer Sean Johnson and those who didn't.
It's devastating. It's horrible. I feel for him and his family.
An incomprehensible loss.
Knowing that his family is hurting really bad, it's an awful feeling.
And we talked to several Hilliard officers out here tonight who said they weren't quite ready to share memories of Officer Johnson with us. They are obviously devastated by his death. Live in Hilliard, Olivia Fecteau, NBC4.
Yeah, they certainly are. Thank you, Olivia. And Officer Sean Johnson's death is sadly the third line-of-duty death here in Central Ohio just since the beginning of this year. Danville police officer Thomas Cottrell, a 35-year-old father of 3 daughters, was shot to death in a late-night ambush as he stepped out the back door of the police station. His funeral this past January was moved to a technical college to accommodate the hundreds of police officers from all over the region who came to pay their respects. His town, his department, his brothers and sisters in blue gathered to honor his life and sacrifice. Just last month, they gathered again, this time for a Columbus SWAT officer, shot to death during a standoff with a man suspected of arson. Stephen Smith was 54 and left behind a wife and 2 grown children. Officers from around the country were there as a 21-gun salute, and the Columbus bagpipe team honored their brother.
It's very humbling, and it's honestly, to be able to pipe a fallen brother home to heaven, honestly, it's the most honorable thing that we could do.
Now they must say goodbye to Hilliard's Sean Johnson, again a father, a veteran of the force, a fallen officer.
Well, the death of Officer Johnson comes just days after the Hilliard Police Department honored their brothers and sisters in blue who have died in the line of duty. This is Police Memorial Week, and Hilliard Police Chief Robert Fisher said the pain hits especially close to home after Columbus SWAT officer Stephen Smith was killed in the line of duty. The sudden loss of Officer Johnson hits home directly for Hilliard. Stay with NBC4 for continuing coverage of Officer Johnson's death. We'll bring you the very latest details on the investigation into the crash and reaction on air starting tomorrow morning on NBC4 Today and continuing coverage online at NBC4i.com. Well, a little warmer weather today, maybe more of a feeling of spring in Central Ohio.
Yeah, Storm Team 4 meteorologist Dave Mazza has a look at whether this warm up and the sunny pattern will continue for us.
You know, we did get to 70 today, so that is something good. But you notice that we do have rain off towards the west and southwest of us, and we're going to be watching that very closely over the next 24 hours because that is going to bring our next chance of rain back into our area. As far as the temperatures go outside, they have been very comfortable through the evening hours as well. Tonight, we haven't seen too much of a drop in temperatures so far, as we're sitting around 55 here in the city right now, and we've got even warmer air off towards the west, so it is going to be another mild day again for Friday. It's just that it's going to start off a bit on the chilly side. So tomorrow morning we'll have a cool start to the day with temperatures back in the 40s. We are going to see the temperatures moderating soon starting tomorrow afternoon, but also later in the day tomorrow, rain chances will be returning. Coming up in a few minutes, we will timeline out when exactly they will return and see how long they will last heading into the weekend.
All right, thanks, Dave. A 13-year-old girl from Toledo escapes captivity and says her own family is responsible. Still to come, all new at 11. Neighbors are now talking, saying they never suspected a thing.
But first, a mystery in the skies over Egypt. Last movements of Egypt Air Flight 804 that may help authorities figure out what went wrong. Welcome back. While there has been a huge outpouring of support online for Officer Johnson's family, the fellow officers in the Hilliard community, take a look at what some folks are sharing here. Hilliard Police Department did tweet out this great picture of Officer Johnson. He was a 16-year veteran. And also, they released this great picture tonight. This at Responders Park, the cruiser covered with flowers. And of course, this is a very popular location in the Hilliard area. Also, Hilliard Schools tweeted out, our thoughts and prayers of the district, the school board, all with the family, all with the thoughts of the Johnson family. And our own Olivia Fecteau, she tweeted out this really great picture. This was a flag being lowered at half-staff in honor of Officer Johnson at Responders Park. In fact, a small crowd gathered. You can see the dusk providing a very poetic scenery in that location. And finally, here's a tweet from Kathy Brake. It's very sad. Way too many officers have lost their lives. Prayers to his family and everyone else in the police department. And one more here. This is from the Chief of Police in Dublin. Prayers for our brothers and sisters of the Hilliard Police Department. Rest in peace, Sean Johnson. Offering prayers for the brothers and sisters in the Hilliard Police Department.
A follow-up now to a crash that killed 4 family members yesterday in Vinton County. Tonight, we've learned that an Athens High School senior was one of those victims. 18-year-old Thomas Hamill was set to graduate this weekend. He was killed along with his 19-year-old sister, Emma, their mother, Lisa Forster, and her sister, Lori Ulsterberg. They were killed when the car they were riding in ran a stop sign and was hit by a garbage truck.
I think Tom was just ready to be an adult. He talked to you like he was an adult. Great maturity, quick with a joke at the same time. It's just a real shame. He was an awesome, awesome kid.
Seniors at Athens High School learned of Hamill's passing on yesterday's senior trip. They plan to honor him at graduation this Saturday. New at 11, a 2-year-old child is in the hospital tonight after being critically injured in a house fire. It happened earlier tonight on Minnesota Avenue on the northeast side. Firefighters say there were 4 children inside that house when a neighbor called 911 to report the fire. It's unclear if any adults were home at the time. Firefighters say they believe one of the other children was playing with fire in the house.
Investigators are trying to figure out what caused Egyptian air jetliner bound for Paris to Cairo to crash into the Mediterranean overnight with 66 people on board. The flight disappeared from radar about 30 minutes from landing in Cairo. Greek aviation authorities say that they spoke to the pilot about 20 minutes before that. They say he sounded in good spirits and thanked them before transitioning to Egyptian airspace. Now, Egyptian authorities are leading the investigation. The civil aviation minister, says terrorism is most likely the cause, but there's nothing official until the investigation is complete.
Continuing coverage tonight of a pair of Central Ohio siblings who allegedly moved to Syria to join ISIS. Friends tell NBC4 they are still shocked. Munir Lynch grew up with Razel Rahan, and like Rahan, Lynch is a Muslim. He says the two rarely discuss religion, though, and like so many, he's very surprised to hear that his old friend would ever consider a life of violence. He says he hopes people don't blame their religion.
We as a Muslim community feel betrayed by these extremist groups, but personally with Razel, I don't know how to feel, just shocked.
According to the NBC report, Razel Rahan was killed in Syria. The report also said he had joined ISIS with his sister and brother-in-law, both of whom are thought to still be alive and in Syria working with ISIS. In Toledo, a father and son are being held on a $500,000 bond each after a 13-year-old girl claimed they held her captive in the basement of a Toledo house for more than a year. 53-year-old Timothy Saboro and 27-year-old Esten Saboro were arrested and charged with kidnapping and endangering children. The girl was found wandering alone outside last night. She told police she'd run away because her stepfather and stepbrother kept her shackled in the basement.
When we didn't see her anymore, we just figured she must have gone to her other parent or something. You never expect that.
I try to hold the conversation like, oh, what's going on here? Just give me a nice little shrug or a nice little move and just go back in the house.
Police did find handcuffs chained to the beam in a basement. The girl said she used a spare key to escape. The victim and 2 siblings who also lived in that house are now in foster care.
Columbus police continue to look for 3 men involved in a violent sexual assault early this morning. The victim found in the area of Sullivan Avenue and South Burgess Avenue. She was taken to Mount Carmel West, listed in critical condition with a stab wound. The suspects are described as 3 young white men in their late teens to early 20s. Anyone with information is encouraged to call the Columbus Police Department's sexual assault tip line. That number, 614-645-4266. We have an update tonight on that jewelry theft case involving elderly victims at senior living facilities around Central Ohio. Detectives say they have identified 3 additional victims, bringing the total to 43 victims from a dozen different senior living centers. More than 3,000 pieces of jewelry were recovered in a home of the suspect or of a suspect, and detectives say only a fraction of it has been connected to the rightful owners so far.
There's still quite a few that have a first name or initials on it that we would like to find out who these people are and get the property returned to them.
The detective also says the suspect posed as a healthcare worker to gain access to the senior living centers and stole items from residents' rooms while they were in the dining hall. That suspect has not yet been charged. The case is being reviewed by the Delaware County Prosecutor's Office. We've put together an online gallery of some of the recovered jewelry that still needs to be claimed. Just click on our story. Just go to our homepage at NBC4i.com.
Well, it was great to see some sunshine out there today, starting to feel like spring again.
Yeah, I mean, we're less than a month away from summer, officially.
Let's have a nice weekend, Dave.
You know, we're going to pretty much have a decent weekend. I think all in all, you're going to look back at it and you're going to like what I have to show you in just a minute. Taking a live look outside from our Sears Heating and Cooling Sky Cam. Tell you what, it is a gorgeous night outside tonight. A little on the cool side. There's a little chill in the air, but things are beautiful. Clear skies, that is, across our area. I'm thinking about how nice it is and forgetting how to speak this evening. You can see temperatures right now at 55 outside. Humidity level, not too bad, 59%. So with the clear skies, pretty light winds outside and low humidity, we are going to see temperatures drop probably another 10 degrees by tomorrow morning. So it is going to be a cool start to the day. You can already see some of the numbers out in the outlying areas, 50 in Lancaster already, 51 in Athens. We should be only dropping to about 54. So these numbers are cool so far for this time of the year, but we're going to start to change that gradually over the next couple of days as we add a little bit more moisture to our atmosphere. So let's show you in the pinpoint forecast overnight tonight. Pretty light winds out of the north and east. We'll see a few scattered clouds by morning, but it's still going to be a very quiet start to the day. Now through the day on Friday, I do expect to see cloud cover to start to increase. You'll notice it in the south first and then starting to move northward during the afternoon hours, but you still notice for the most part, most of the day is going to be dry tomorrow. It won't be until late in the afternoon that we begin to see a few showers straying up from the south. I think for the most part, our morning commute will definitely be fine. It's going to be sunglasses weather for the morning, but the afternoon commute could have a couple of isolated showers, mainly south of I-70. And then as we head into the evening hours tomorrow night, that's when the rain starts to pick up. I stopped this at 9 o'clock tomorrow night, and you see most of the area south of 70 has showers with more scattered showers north of 70. And the best chance of seeing more moderate rain will actually come overnight tomorrow night into early Saturday morning. The good news, though, check it out. By 8 a.m. Saturday morning, most of the rain is starting to fall apart, and by lunchtime, we get rid of most of the rain. We'll see a little bit of sunshine returning during the afternoon with a little bit cooler air starting to filter back in. So that'll set us up for another cool night Saturday night, but Sunday is setting up to be a gem for the weekend. So overnight tonight, 46 for the low temperature. Again, those clear skies are going to set us up for a cool night. That light northeast breeze will drop wind chill values to about 43 at the bus stop tomorrow morning, but it's going to warm up quickly. We'll see 55 by 9. Just like today, the temperatures will continue to rise, 67 by noon and 72 for the afternoon high tomorrow. Still short of the norm for this time of the year. Saturday will be a slightly cooler day because of the morning clouds and showers at 69. I think the afternoon should be fine on Saturday. Sunday, though, even better. 73 for the high on Saturday or Sunday. And then we keep getting warmer. We'll see 75 Monday, lots of sunshine, 78 for Tuesday, up to 80 with a chance of storms late on Wednesday. And then as we head into Thursday, that rain didn't really make a big difference. We'll see temperatures rebounding back to 79. Great tool to have because we got rain coming back to our area in the next 24 hours. Storm Team 4 weather app, it is free. Got a lot of great tools on this, including the ability to track lightning, and you get Live Viper radar 24/7. You go to your app store, very simple download. You search NBC4IWX to get this very cool and easy to use tool.
Alrighty, thanks, Dave.
Well, the Cleveland Cavaliers seem to be having a fairly good time.
Yeah,
on the court.
It's incredible. I mean, they're not just winning, they're not just dominating, they're demoralizing their opponent right now. Second verse, same as the first. Cavs in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals look much like Game 1, simply dominant. Plus, a pair of football Buckeyes get back to work after an important mission. Putting Cleveland's playoff dominance so far into perspective, at the start of the night, 9-0 record so far in these playoffs. The first Eastern Conference team to start 9-0, outscored opponents by nearly 13 points per game, and in all their games, they've scored 100 or more points. Well, it happened again tonight. Game 2 in Cleveland, Eastern Conference Finals. It started a little closer than Tuesday night, but it did not stay that way. LeBron remains a man on a mission, attacking the hoop. He and Kyrie Irving creating a nearly unguardable tandem. Irving, the shake, the bake. He scores 26 points. LeBron nearly pulled a triple-double in the first half. 17 points at the break. He finished with 23, including finishing up that triple-double. He also moves into 4th place on the NBA playoff all-time scoring list, and the Cavs are cruising. 108-89 the final. Game 3 of that series coming Saturday in Toronto. Just a few days ago, this was their life. Billy Price and Raekwon McMillan went on an outreach trip to Jamaica with other Ohio State athletes, and while they were in the ocean, their teammates were here. The football Buckeyes ramping up summer conditioning this week. Yesterday was winner-loser day, an intense workout day on the Buckeye calendar. Price and McMillan got back to work yesterday. They were traveling for a Souls for Souls mission to give kids in need new pairs of shoes. A great idea. They were hoping to get a workout in on the trip, but...
Yeah, he sent us with a bag of fun, and the bag of fun stayed in the suitcase. I mean, Raekwon and I being veteran players on the team, we were okay. I mean, we're feeling it a little bit now, a little bit sore, but, you know, it was definitely focus on the good, not on, you know, yourself and your body. Right. We were cool.
So the strength coach's bag of fun did not work out. The Ohio Cup this year was an Ohio sweep. Tribe wrapping up a 4-game romp over the Redlegs. Carlos Santana, a pair of 2-run home runs down by the river, 7-2. Tribe wins all 4 in that series.
Wow. At the lake and on the river.
Yeah, no kidding.
Thanks, and we will be back with the last look at the forecast. But here's Jimmy Fallon with a look at what's next on The Tonight Show.
Hey guys, Seth Rogen is my guest tonight. Plus, we have Fred Armisen, music from Corinne Bailey Ray, and Tonight Show hashtags. It's a great show. Do not change the channel. It's good.
Yeah, everyone loves Jake. In the parking lots, we'll come up and pet him. They'll just talk to him, we'll give him treats. One person even bought him a whole sandwich.
Employees at the Circle H Barbecue and Grill in Emory, Texas say their most loyal customer is an 11-year-old Labrador named Jake.
And Jake knows how to do it. He begs for rib bones at the drive-thru in between customers. He has to do it safely. Jake's not a stray. His owners work at the auto repair shop next door.
It looks
Jake
like
is a bright
he was laying
dog.
down there. Look, getting out of the way.
There you go.
Sure, he's done this before.
He's courteous.
A potential friend.
Here we go.
Some food.
There's somebody else that could buy him a sandwich.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, now we got to go home.
Jake's got it, man.
And he's doing it right because he's walking across the streets. He's working off all that food that he's eating.
Very
too.
smart.
Smart dog. Yep. Thinking there. Well, tomorrow morning, we are going to have a nice start to the day. Sunglasses weather, also jacket weather. Numbers will be in the middle 40s in the morning, but rising quickly. We should be back in the 60s, upper 60s by lunchtime tomorrow. We'll get into the low 70s. There is still that chance of rain, but that should be done by early Saturday morning. I think most of the weekend. You saw my forecast where I said most of the weekend will be good because after about the mid-morning on Saturday, it should start to improve.
All right. Thank you so
Warmer.
much. And thank you for staying up with us tonight.
The Tonight Show is next. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday.